I've been talking a lot about how to reinvent yourself recently on this channel. And the more I talk about it, the more I realize that maybe I had this wrong initially. Because I somehow always thought that reinventing yourself means change, means personal growth, means that you have to become somebody new or somebody better, or that you have to really kind of stretch yourself way out of who you really are. And I feel the more I talk about it, the more I look at how it happened in my life, the more I realize that it's maybe more about understanding what in you is always there, what is more like permanent and really defining for you, and then trying to build a life around that rather than trying to imagine a life and trying to fit yourself in it. And I feel it's really, yeah, it's a new idea I have about it that I wanted to share today, because you might also be in this phase where you feel like I've done a lot of work on myself, I've tried different things, I'm always reinventing myself, but it somehow still doesn't look like it's matching the life that I want, or I don't feel like I'm getting ahead doing this, and it's like the constant reinvention is actually maybe a little bit exhausting. So I wanted to share, just in case that's something that you would also need to think about differently, and maybe there is just like a different belief to have about reinvention that is not discussed that much, I think out there. And yeah, for me, the first realization is that maybe the beliefs that I had around reinvention are quite inaccurate. So I feel there are a lot of myths that maybe I was believing, kind of unconsciously. So the first thing, for instance, is that I was believing that every single time I attempted something new, meaning, for instance, a new job in a different career, or if I started somewhere new and I moved to another country or another city, or if I tried a new goal, something to really stretch myself outside of my comfort zone, I had always this expectation that I would become someone new in the process, that things will really change a lot massively, directly, that there will be like a, kind of an immediate result. And I feel, it's like when you say, okay, I want to change because I went to a breakup and I'm just going to cut myself bangs, and you imagine that suddenly you are going to forget that you are going through a breakup, or that you just think that it's going to give you a different energy. I feel there is maybe not so like much result immediately when you are reinventing yourself. I think when I look back, it's more like long terms. I see some differences, but usually it's, things that I don't even notice unless I'm in a new situation and I'm like, oh, actually, I've already been there before. And because I've tried this different thing and I've reinvented myself and I grew there, now I can use that. So it's a bit more like, long after the real experience. And I also feel that immediately things don't change that much. Like, even if you change places, you are still the same person, just being put in a different environment. So for me, it was, yeah, there's this first thing, like I was always expecting like some immediate result and immediate change that would be telling me I'm going in the right direction. Um, in the same vein, I was also expecting to get a final solution. Like, it's like, oh, I'm starting a new career that feels way better aligned to me. Great. That means that now all my problems are solved. Like, I remember when I started running my own business and decided to become a coach, I had this kind of moment where I was like, yes, this is what I'm meant to do for the rest of my life, and it's going to be so amazing. And there are all these things I'm going to learn, and I'm going to get all the freedom that I want. And I found in that moment, in that first weeks of excitement and really making the decision to become a coach, I remember I was feeling like, yeah, this is it, and that's it. That now I've reinvented myself, and now this is the thing I'm going to be forever, and that's going to solve all the problems I have, and that's going to help me in different areas as well. And I feel actually it was partially true, but it's never really a final solution. There are still, like, more ways you can reinvent yourself later, or you can still try different things. And not all, you choose a different kind of problem when you when you make any decisions like this, but you will still get problems, right? It's not like everything magically disappeared. It's just that you get new problems that maybe you are more willing to engage with, or you feel that they are easier to deal with. But it's not always true. Sometimes you will also be surprised of things that you did not think about, and you will get new problem, and you're like, okay, that's actually the drawback of doing that thing. So yeah, I had this kind of like expectation it will be like a final decision of reinvention, and boom, everything is fixed. And over the last years as well, I did a video recently about this, about how I stopped trying to fix myself. But I also realized that when you are reinventing yourself constantly, sometimes it can just be that you think that you have to be more, that you think that you have to fix things, that you are not good enough as you are. And I feel this is something that also sometimes needs to be reflected on if you are reinventing yourself. Is that reinvention, or is that avoiding who you really are and avoiding to accept what you are at that point in time? Doesn't mean that you don't want to grow, but there is also like balance to find in between like self-acceptance and actually trying different things. And I also realized recently that it's really it's not about being more or doing more. It's about less, actually. Most of the time, it's more about subtracting things. It's more about removing yourself from places or saying no to things. I feel this is actually the real essence of reinvention, rather than this like I need to be more, I need to be better, or I need to improve things. And yeah, these are the myths that I had around it. And I feel reinvention nowadays, if I think about it in with a more like different perspective, or like zooming out a little bit, I think what reinvention has told me, in the way I've done it, which is, for instance, living in 6 different countries where I had to readapt myself to different places, or changing careers, moving from being a scientist to working in sales, to working as a coach with my own business, to working in social impact. And yeah, in general, just a lot of personal development growth, and trying to evolve in different areas of my life, is that it's basically, it's not giving me so much solution. It's more like it's showing me who I am, like what is my true identity. So for instance, I can see now better what are my core values. So I know that I'm somebody who really likes to learn. I'm somebody who enjoys personal freedom and need and want to create that in my life. Peace is really important to me, peace of mind. Also balance with some level of aliveness and some level of engagement in what I do. Courage is also a big one. I really encourage people around me to be braver, and also to try different things, and to not let like any limitations or society tell them what to do or who to be. So they are like, I have like core values like this that keep coming back, and it's because I've been in situations, or in places, or in careers where I could I could like experience the opposites, and therefore I was able to say, okay, no, actually this is not true. This is what is true. And same thing, with interest, or anything that tickle your curiosity, or give you meaning, or make you feel alive and engaged in what you do. I can see that there are things I always come back to. Like entrepreneurship is one thing that I had a first business. It did not work financially, but it's still something that is at the back of my mind, and my brain is trying to find ideas about how I could combine my skills and create something new. Content creation as well. I did a lot of content creation in the business, which was surprising to me, because I used to have a very strong fear of writing. I did a PhD at some point, and I got stuck in the writing, and this gave me a lot of like blank page fear. And when I started running my business, I had to do a lot of posts on Instagram, LinkedIn, doing videos and things like this, newsletter. And I really kind of went into this process with content creation. And nowadays, it is something really important to me. So even when I'm not running a business, I'm always, I'm always trying to do things out there, and put things out there in the world, and find ways to express my voice. So this is something that I keep coming back to, no matter what I do. Same thing with volunteering, for instance. I really enjoy finding new places to volunteer to, for events, and for things that usually help people, or for sports, for instance. And these are things that I can notice. I try to get myself out of it, but I come back to it, because that's closer to what naturally my brain enjoys doing. And same thing, I'm noticing more and more, like, what problems do I like to solve in life that could also be used for work, or for businesses. And I really enjoy supporting people build their best life, where they really feel that they can give themselves permission to be more, in the sense, like, to just allow themselves to be who they are, and put it out there in the world without fear. It seems also that, creating psychological safety for other people, whether it's in a group, or just with a single person, is something that I'm also always trying to do. I'm always trying to create engaging learning experiences for people, where they can also, find ways to evolve in a way that they really feel safe to do that. I'm generally very good with bringing structure, or creating systems, or any type of workflow, and very like operational things. I'm really good at seeing how the things connect, and this is a type of problem that I know I can also help solve, and I'm very good at it. So basically, like, every single time I've tried, I tried to change countries, or change environment, or change the group of people I was with, this was reinforced. Like, it just showed me what was my true identity, because the things either keep repeating, or I keep being in places where things don't match with what I want, and then I have the opposite. I'm like, that doesn't work. This is the opposite. This is what I want. So it's really helped. Kind of really connecting with my true identity, and what really matters to me, and these are things that are not moving. It's like things that I can see are part of me, and part of who I am, and they will be until I die, I think. Until I die soon, or not soon. And yeah, I also feel that reinvention, like, trying all these things, moving countries, moving careers, has also helped me, as I was saying earlier, removing things, and putting in place what I needed to have a better life. So I think it's been like mostly correcting situations or like redirect myself in the right place. So for instance, if I look at my health and self-care compared to when I was a kid, I corrected a lot of behaviors that could have been seen as more neglecting myself or not doing enough self-care or basically forgetting that my brain and my body need me to take care of them. And this came from, lack of awareness about this that was not instilled into me when I was a kid, but also, no role models around this. So yeah, it took me some time to get there, but it was more like, oh, this doesn't work. Let me just replace by the right habits and see what works. Same thing, with creativity, for instance. This is something I've done more recently over the last 5 years, like doing more paintings, doing videos, doing poetry, doing more writing. This is something that I was never really given a chance to explore when I was a kid, but actually, it's actually a big part of me. And this is something that I've kind of corrected as well, the trajectory. It's like I tried, because why not? And then I see that it's actually an important core value as well for me to be able to put things out there in the world. And that's something, I'm correcting the trajectory of, if I've not done it enough when I was younger, now I'm doing it more, and it actually matches who I am. And for my career, same thing. So I mentioned I went in different places, from scientist to sales to being a coach, to being an entrepreneur, to work in social impact and charities. And this is the same thing. Like, I've tested different type of organization, different size of organization, different missions and different type of roles. And I've been able to basically sample all these things, and I can tell you right now what works, what are the different combinations of skills I can use, and also what doesn't work, with way more clarity. So this has just helped me filter out the weed and just say, okay, now I know these are the things I can combine. This is what will help me feel great working here, in terms of who I look for to work with, like what should be the team culture and what should be the size of the team as well. Same thing for my finances. Finances, I did a lot of work on educating myself, because I was never told how to handle money. I was made feel that money was for grown-ups when I was a kid, and there was a lot of gaps into my education, or what does it even mean to have money and deal with it as an adult. So this was also a way for me to create my personal freedom, but this was like I had to put in place things that were missing, and I realized that they were missing. So I'm reinventing myself as a smarter, savvy person for money. Same thing with expatriation. When I say I lived in 6 different countries, so I lived in France, Spain, Netherlands, UK, Belgium, Italy, UK, for the last 13 years now. And every time I've moved places, I've moved country, or even just different cities, you have to kind of readapt yourself to where you are. And this has helped me, again, filtering. So it's like different cultures will resonate different with me. Like, for instance, Netherlands I really enjoy, because they are very entrepreneurial in terms of mindset. They have a direct communication, which I appreciate. Italy, they are very warm people. There is a sense of not friendship, but like camaraderie, I think, when you work with people, that is also very healthy. And that's part of me that I didn't know. Oh, actually, you can work with people and enjoy them and have fun as well. There was some good level of playfulness. So it's like, oh, I actually enjoy being playful at work as well, and still do good work, but I enjoy this combination. And the UK, for instance, where I'm living right now, I really do not resonate with the culture, because it's really passive aggressive in general, and I found it very hard to navigate the politics and the dynamics. So there are things that I can also, again, test where I fit, and because it's giving me a mirror about who I am as a person, then it also helps me say, okay, you know what, like, this is what I need to look for. I need to look for countries where I enjoy living there. They are more like open-minded people, and they're also warm people, and still good at delivering work. And same thing with relationships. Like, if I look at the way I've evolved my relationships over the last few years, it's been also removing a lot of like patterns inherited from childhood, or any kind of fears, or any lack of clarity I had about what type of people I want to bring in my life, who also will bring the best out of me, so that I can really feel myself. These have been more of the lessons in the recent years. So all this reinvention step, and trying different environments and different places, has really helped me just correcting and adding the pieces that were missing from childhood, or removing some of the things from there, and just kind of like decluttering and adding the right pieces to create a different life. And I feel this is what at the end of the day is probably my conclusion from thinking about reinvention, is that if you think that reinvention is just about who you are going to become and trying to become somebody new or add more in your life, or just trying to fix your entire life with one reinvention, I don't think that's really work. I think it's more about thinking about what kind of life do you really want to live, and then trying to see how you can structure that life that it actually allows you to bring the best part of yourself out there, where you feel that you can really express yourself, where you feel that you have personal freedom. And that takes a lot of playing and trying different things. But I think if you are doing a next step of reinvention or changing career or moving places, if you approach it more with like, ooh, what is this place telling me about myself that I'm already am, and what I need, I think it's a different mindset than thinking I'm going to be better if I move there. So yeah, this is something that I've changed in terms of mindset. I hope that resonates with some of you, because I know it's quite maybe like a philosophical thinking today, but I feel it's just a different way you approach things in your life can really shift the result that you are getting. And yeah, I found it's like maybe thinking about reinvention more as, what is the best life you can create for yourself, and rather than thinking I need to change myself to fit in the imaginary best life that I want, and will be more more efficient. So I hope that resonated with you. And if you don't know me, my name is Chloe, and I'm running this channel at least until I turn 40, which is going to be in 15 days. And I do daily videos where I'm reviewing what happened over the last 20 years of my life, to make sure that I flush out the things that should not stay in my life before when I turn 40, and making sure that I also capture all the things that are actually worth it. So I have a few videos about some of the topics I mentioned today. You can check them on the channel, and you can also subscribe if you want to follow the journey. And I see you tomorrow for another video.